Good morning. Namaste to each of you. Thank you for joining me this morning to honor your mind and your body and your spirit. Let's take a few moments to become present. So if you find a nice, comfortable seated position on a towel or cushion, something that will help you to lengthen your spine, the back of your neck, opening up your diaphragm, opening up your chest, and opening up your heart. Gently close your eyes and soften your thoughts. Soften your eyes. Soften your shoulders. Soften your heart. Observe your breath as it is, soft and gentle, breathing life into you with each inhale and relaxation with each exhale. Feel the grace of being present, returning to that awareness again and again. You may open your eyes. For this morning's intention, you may think of a positive word or phrase to have with you on the mat and perhaps carry with you throughout the day. This morning's intention I'd like to talk about is the first Niyama, and the Niyamas are the second limb of the 8 limbs of yoga. And the Niyamas are all about guidelines and how to interact with yourself. And so the very first Niyama is Saucha, and that is Sanskrit for cleanliness, purity, and clarity. Basically, it's about removing stuff to come to the essence of something. Removing stuff to come to the essence of something. So with your cleanliness, maybe you're removing dirt and grime. For clean eating, for example, I love banana bread, but the essence of what I want of that banana bread is the banana. So I should actually just eat the banana without surrounding it with sugar or white flour or other things that maybe aren't what I need. I'm looking for that essence. So that, cleanliness can take on scrubbing and external things. So, excuse me, purity and clarity I'd like to explore a little bit further today. So in Deborah Adele's book on the chapter of Saucha, she says, we are asked to be with life, with others, with things, with the day, with work, with the weather, as they are in this moment, not as we wish they would be, or think they should be, or expect them to be. We fail in the Saucha guideline in any of our attempts to change, judge, criticize, alter, control, manipulate, pretend, be disappointed, or even check out. Purity is not our attempt to make something different than it is. Rather, it is to be pure in our relationship with it, as it is in this moment. So for our pranayama this morning, I'd like to do one that's called Kumbhaka. And it focuses on the natural pauses between the inhales and the exhales. So when the mind and body become more still during that pause, we can focus on the purity of the moment of just being. So to do that, it's actually also known as the box breath. So you're going to have equal length counts. So 4 count on the inhale, 4 count on the pause at the top of the inhale, 4 count on the exhale, and 4 count on the pause at the exhale. So let's just try that for a few moments. I'll count like 2 or 3 times, and then I'll drop off and you can continue your count. So inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, pause, 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, pause, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, pause, 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, pause, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can continue on with the count and just focus on that stillness and clarity and silence in your pause. May return to your regular breath. And for this morning's meditation, I'd like to mention that when we meditate, we have some days when we are distracted and struggle to get into our meditation practice, while other days we just kind of seem to drop into it easily. It's an understanding that we can be still and not be quiet, and we can be quiet and not be still. It's a reminder that in the moments of silence and stillness, we can find clarity and joy. So for the mudra, it's a Buddhi Mudra, Buddhi, and it helps to improve your mental clarity. So this is all about just being in that silence and stillness and the purity of the moment and having that clarity. And so the mudra is bringing your pinky and your thumbs together and extending the other 3 fingers. And you can just have that resting on your lap with the palms facing up. And we'll just take a few moments. And again, for those who meditate regularly, you know that that struggle sometime of distractions and some days, and then being able to drop in easily on other days, and finding that stillness. So let's not work too hard on it. It's sometimes it just happens and sometimes it doesn't. But when you do have that silence and that stillness provides clarity and purity of your mind. So we'll take a few moments and I'll meet you on the mat. You may open your eyes now. We'll start our asana practice. So we'll start with a few exercises for our neck and our head, just to kind of limber up from the head down. So let's just gently exhale, bringing our eyes to the mat, and then inhale, bringing our eyes up toward the sky at a 45-degree angle. And then exhale back down to the mat. Inhale back up. And exhale, bring your eyes back down toward the ground. Being present with the ground, the earth, and then lifting your eyes and inhaling up to the sky. Be present with the sky, the stars, the clouds. And bring your head back to neutral. We're going to exhale, turning our head toward the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, turn your head toward the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale back to center. And then let's just do a few circles. So take the tip of your nose and draw a nice round circle in front of you. Not lifting your head any higher than at the 45-degree angle. Lifting on the inhale, dropping on the exhale. Then reverse direction. Draw your circle nice and evenly as you can. And bring your head back to neutral position. We'll do a few seated shoulder shrugs. We're going to lift our shoulders gently up toward our ears, bringing our shoulder blades toward each other, dropping our shoulders down toward the mat, And then bringing them forward and then up toward our ears, shoulders toward the back, down toward the mat, and forward. Inhale up toward the ears, exhale down toward the mat. Inhale up toward the ears, exhale down toward the mat. Inhale up toward the ears and down toward the mat. Let's just reverse direction on that. Trying to relax our shoulders as we roll them. Unwinding instead of winding up. One last inhale and one last exhale, bringing our arms to a neutral position. And then we'll do some sun breaths. And I'm going to do a little variation on the sun breath this morning. So bring your fingertips to the sides of the mat. Then inhale, bringing your hands up overhead. Palms come together. And then exhale, bring palms to heart center. And then inhale, bring your palms back up overhead. And then exhale, back down toward fingertips to the mat. And we'll do that a couple more times. So inhale, bring your palms up overhead, palms come together. Bring your palms down to heart center on the exhale. Inhale up to the sky, and then exhale, fingertips come back down to the mat. Inhale up. Big inhale, exhale, palms come to center. Palms go back up to the sky. And exhale, bring your fingertips down. One last time, inhale up. Palms come together. Palms come to heart center on the exhale. Big inhale up. And exhale, bringing the fingertips back down to the mat. We're going to roll down on our mat. We could roll down one vertebrae at a time or express method. So I'm going to try the one vertebrae at a time. Bring your knees to heart center. Give them a nice hug. And then extend your feet to the bottom of the mat, coming into reclined mountain pose. So our feet are flexed up to the sky, our navel's tucked in, bringing our lower back toward the mat. Shoulders are relaxed and rolled back. We'll take the sole of our right foot and slide it along the inner part of the left leg until it reaches the knee and your legs come into a figure four. And then we'll take the right ankle and place it on top of the left leg, right above the knee, maintaining that figure four position. And you could stay here if you like, or you could slide your left foot up so that your sole is on the mat, coming into reclined pigeon pose. And then lift your left leg up to this so that it's at a 90-degree angle. Feet are flexed, both toes are flexed up to the sky. Right knee is, you can guide it toward the right side of the mat, reclined pigeon. We'll just stay here for a moment. Keep those toes flexed. And then we're going to take our right leg that's bent toward the side of the mat. We're going to bring it alongside of our left leg. So both our legs are at a 90-degree angle as if we were seated in a chair. And then we're going to tip over to our right side. So you're going to bring both knees down to the mat or to the floor. Bring your shoulder, right shoulder to its side. And extend both hands out in front of you. So the palms are together and both arms are extended out in front of you. Then we're going to inhale, sweeping our left palm up and over our head and bringing it all the way over to the left side and placing it down on the floor or ground. So our chest is fully open. Then inhale, bring that left hand back over. You're making a nice sweeping arc like a rainbow, and then bringing your palms back together again. So we'll do that 2 more times. So you can inhale, sweep your left hand in the shape of a rainbow, arcing over you and landing on the left side, opening your heart, opening your chest. Inhale, lift that left hand back up, sweep it over, bring your palms back together again. And then one last time, inhale, sweeping it up, arcing it over. Landing it gently on the other side. And then inhale, lifting it back up. And exhaling, bringing it back over to the palm. And actually, I should have left it open there, but we'll sweep it back up like 1 more time, back over, arcing over ourselves. Left hand comes all the way down, and then we're going to bring our legs back to center. So we're on our backs again, and bring our knees to our chest and give them a nice hug. And then extend our feet to the bottom of the mat, coming into reclined mountain pose. Toes are flexed up to the sky. Navel's tucked to the spine. Shoulders are relaxed into the mat. And then we'll take the sole of our left foot, slide it along the inner part of our right leg till it reaches the knee. Legs coming into a figure 4 position. Then bring your left ankle on top of your right leg, just above the kneecap. Still in the figure 4. And slide your right foot up so that it is placed on the mat and coming into reclined pigeon pose. You could stay here. Again, try to guide your left knee toward the left side of your mat. Lift your right leg up so it's at a right angle. Both toes are flexed up to the sky, and we'll just stay here for a moment. And then we'll take our left leg and bring it alongside the right leg. Both legs are 90-degree angle as if we're seated in a chair. And we're going to tip our legs over to the left side and turn our body over to the left and extend both arms all the way out so our palms come together. We're going to sweep our right hand up and over in the rainbow arc, landing it on the right side, opening our chest fully. Nice big inhale. And we'll do that 2 more times. So inhale, sweep our hand back up and over, bringing our palms together. Inhale, sweep up. Nice big rainbow arc. Hand comes down. Inhale, lift your hand back up. Bring your palms back together again. And one last time, sweep your hand up. All the way over to the right side. Deep inhale. And then we'll lift our legs back up and bring them back to our chest and give them a nice gentle hug. And then we're going to come up to our hands and knees, so you can roll over and come up to your hands and knees, or if you'd like to do the rock and roll method, you could just rock on your back with your hands tucked behind your knees and come up, cross your legs, lean over your legs and come into tabletop position. With the tabletop, our shoulders are right above our wrists, fingers are splayed out. Weight is evenly distributed in both hands. Navel's tucked to our spine, creating a nice flat back. Knees are right below our hips. We'll do a few cat-cows here. So exhale, dropping your head down, tailbone goes down. And then inhale, lifting your head and tailbone up for cow. Exhale for cat, rounding the back, dropping the head and tailbone down. Inhale for cow, lifting the head and tailbone up. Exhale for cat. Inhale for cow. And you can continue on at your own pace, connecting your inhales and exhales with your movements. Maybe you can pause at the top of your cat or at the bottom, or the bottom of your cat and the top of your cow, and just pause your breath and feel that stillness, that purity of the moment. And come back to tabletop and bring your knees together. And we'll extend the right leg down to the bottom of the mat, and then take that right foot and bring it over to the left side of the mat, so it's just on the outside of the mat. And then we're going to turn our head as if nodding no, and then take a look back to our right foot. And then bring your leg back, bring your head back. We'll do that with the other leg. So extend your left leg all the way down to the bottom of the mat. Bring the left foot over to the right side. And again, make sure that your weight is evenly distributed in both hands. Turning your head with a nod of no, and then take a look back to your left foot. And then bring that leg back. We'll do that one more time on each side. Extend the right leg back. Bring it over to the left side, outside the mat. Turn your head to say no, and then take a look back to your right foot. Bring that right leg back. Extend the left leg all the way down. Bring it over to the right side of the mat. Nod your head no over to the right, and then extend your gaze back to the left foot. And then bring that leg back to center. We'll do a few bird dogs. So we'll lift our right leg up to hip height, pointing our toes. Have our weight distributed in our hands equally, and then lift our left arm up so that our arms alongside of our ear, pointing our fingertips to the front of the mat. We're going to inhale, pointing the toes, exhale, flexing the foot, toes pointing down to the ground. Inhale, point, exhale, flex. Inhale, point, exhale, flex. Inhale, point, exhale, flex. Inhale, point, exhale, flex. Inhale, point, exhale, flex, and bring both hand and knee back down. We'll do that on the other side. Lifting the left leg up to hip height. Lifting the right arm up. Point, inhale. Flex, exhale. Point, inhale. Flex, exhale. Point, inhale. Flex, exhale. Point, inhale. Flex, exhale. Point, inhale. Flex, exhale, and bring both hand and knee back down. We'll lower our hips to our ankles and come into child's pose. Stretching our arms out in front or alongside you, whichever you find more comfortable for child's pose. And then come back up into tabletop. We'll tuck our toes under, walk our hands back and come into the squat. And we're going to stay in the squat for a moment. So you can use your fingertips to balance here. Or if you're inclined, you can bring them up to your heart center and try to balance here for a few moments with your palms together at your heart center. Straightening out your back, rolling your shoulders back. And bring your fingertips back down and then push down into your feet and come up into mountain pose. So for our mountain pose and good posture essentials, our toes are facing the long straight edge of the mat. Legs are nice and strong with a gentle bend in the knees. Navel's tucked to the spine. Shoulders are relaxed and rolled back. Crown of your head's reaching up to the sky with your chin just tucked in slightly. Then sweep your hands up overhead with a big inhale. And then exhale, bending your knees. We're going to bring our hands down to the mat. Support our lower back. And just check in here for a moment. See how we're doing, how we're feeling. Then inhale, bring our hands up to our shins. flattening out our back to half forward fold. Gaze is sent downward. And then dropping the crown of our head on the exhale, bringing the crown of our head down toward the ground. Then inhale, sweep our hands all the way up overhead. Coming up onto our tippy toes. We'll do a palm tree here. Practice our balance for a moment. I'd like to say the wind's blowing me over, but it's not. There is a gentle wind. And bring our heels back down to the mat. Sweep our hands back down, bending our knees, support our lower back. Inhale, half forward fold, bringing your hands to your shins, flattening out your back. Give me a nice stretch, sending the gaze down. Then exhale, send the crown of your head down toward the mat. Then inhale, sweep our hands all the way up overhead. Palms come together. And this morning we're doing a side stretch, which is a little different. Bring the tips of your fingers together overhead, not the palms, just the tips. So your arms are creating a nice big circle. And then we're going to lean to the right, kind of kicking our left hip out to the side. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, keeping that round shape with your arms. Lean over to the left. Inhale, come back up. This is in honor of the last supermoon of the year. That was on Thursday. Exhale, or inhale, come back up. Exhale, one more time to the left. And inhale, come back up. And we'll bring our hands back down to the ground, bending our knees. Inhale, halfway up, half forward fold. Exhale, dropping the crown of our head down toward the ground. And then we're going to place our left hand in front of our left foot. Bend our left knee. So left hand in front of the left foot, bend the left knee, and sweep the right hand from the ground all the way up overhead. And you can follow your hand with your gaze if you like. Forward fold with a twist. And then exhale, bring that right hand back down. Place it in front of the right foot, bend the right knee. Sweep the left hand all the way up overhead, following it with your gaze if you can. And then bring that left hand back down. Then sweep both hands all the way up overhead. Palms come together. Palms come to heart center. And then palms come to the back of the hips for supported back bend. Fingertips pointing down. Navel's tucked in. Shoulders are relaxed and rolled back. Chin is tucked toward your chest. And then we'll just drop our shoulders back so we find that sweet spot with our breath. Like it would still have a nice evenly flow of inhale and exhale. And then inhale, come back up. We'll sweep our hands up overhead. Exhale, bringing our hands back down to the ground. Inhale, half forward fold, bringing our hands up to our shins, flattening out the back. Exhale, bring the hands back down to the mat. Send both feet to the bottom of the mat, coming into plank pose. Fingertips are spread wide apart. Shoulders are right above the wrists. Navel's tucked to your spine to elevate your hips. There we go. Hips slightly. Heels are pushing to the back of the mat. They're going to either use knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga to gently come down to the mat. Keeping your elbows tucked toward your ribs on either one. Slowly come down. With the fingertips right below your shoulders, we'll lift our chest up, just guiding them with our hands into cobra. Then tucking our toes under, come up into downward dog. We'll pedal out here for a moment. So again, our hands are nice and splayed apart. Fingertips are splayed apart. Fingertips reaching up toward the, or the index fingers reaching toward the top of the mat. Arms are nice and straight. Chest is reaching toward your thigh to elevate your hip up more. Knees are bent, or if you're pedaling, keeping the knees bent, that's good. And take a few deep breaths here. Let's say 3. And then gently walk your feet up toward your hands, coming into a forward fold. Sweeping your hands from the mat all the way up overhead. And then exhale, bring your hands right back down to the mat. Back to forward fold. We're going to extend our right leg to the back of the mat so that we're in runner's lunge. Placing our right hand down on the mat, we're going to do a runner's lunge with a twist. So we're going to sweep our left hand all the way up overhead, following it with our gaze. Keeping our legs nice and straight and strong. And bring our left hand back down. And with those strong legs, you're going to push down into your left foot, lifting your hands up off the mat, bringing them back into an airplane pose. And then bring them back down to the mat. Lower your right leg down to the mat and your right foot, placing it on the mat. And we'll do a few half monkeys here. We're going to walk our hands back, keeping some distance between our chest and our thigh as our leg straightens out. And then we're going to flex our left foot so that the toes reach up to the sky. And then walk our hands back toward the front, bringing our foot down to the mat. And walk them up, walk your hands a little further than your foot so that you can lift your head up and open up your chest, stretching out that spine and the lower back. And then walk our hands back again, straightening out our leg, keeping the distance between our thigh and our chest. Coming into a position where our toes are flexed up to the sky. And then walk our hands back again toward the top of the mat. Just walk them a little bit further than your foot. And then lifting your head up, opening up your chest, stretching out your lower back. And one last time. Walking your hands back, flexing your toes up to the sky, and walk your hands forward, past your toes, lifting your head up, opening your chest. we're going to come back to low lunge, tuck our toes under, come into runner's lunge. Bring both hands to the right side of the mat and walk them all the way back to our right foot. So that our hands are right above the right foot. We're going to come into one-legged squat. So we're going to bend our right knee down and flex our left toes up to the sky, keeping our left leg straight. And then we'll walk our hands back to the center, come into wide-legged stance. Tuck your toes in so they're a little bit pigeon-toed. And we'll do some twists with our hands. So we're going to sweep our right hand all the way up to the sky, following it with our gaze. And then bringing it back down. And then with our left hand, sweeping that up to the sky, following it with our gaze. Bringing that back down. And we'll continue walking our hands over to the left. Pivot our feet, coming back into runner's lunge. And then pushing down on our left foot, we're going to bring our right foot up into the air and then land it next to our left foot, coming into forward fold. And then sweep our hands all the way up overhead. Palms come together. Palms come to heart center. And we're going to come into tree pose. But today we're just going to have a modest tree pose so we can really focus on the stillness of this pose, not worry about tipping over. So you can either bring your ankle or your heel to your ankle. We'll bring the right heel to the left ankle, or you can bring it up a little bit higher so that you are in a balancing pose. And just focus on the stillness of this pose, not worrying about tipping over, getting your balance. Focus on the purity. And then bring that foot back down, and we'll do that on the other side. We're going to sweep our hands up overhead, big inhale. Exhale, forward fold, bending our knees. Inhale, half forward fold, hands to shins, flattening out the back. Exhale, forward fold, bringing our hands to the mat. Extend both feet to the back of the mat, coming into plank pose. Heels are pushing to the back of the mat, navel's tucked in, elevating the hips. We'll gently come down to the mat, either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Keep your elbows to your side. And then bring our fingertips underneath our shoulder and gently lift our chest up into cobra. Tuck our toes under, coming up into downward dog. And we'll walk out dog here for a few moments. Arms are nice and straight and strong. Hips are elevated toward the sky. Take 3 nice deep breaths. And then walk your feet up to your hands, coming into forward fold. And then sweep your hands up overhead. And then sweep them right back down to the mat. Exhale. Bringing your hands down to the mat. We're going to extend our left leg back, coming into runner's lunge. Left hand goes down on the mat, sweeping our right hand all the way up and overhead, following it with our gaze. Feeling the strength in our legs. Bring our right hand back down. And then really pushing into your right foot, lift your hands up off the mat, sweeping your arms back into airplane. And bring both hands back down to the mat. We'll walk our hands, or no, I'm sorry. We're going to lower our left leg down to the mat, our left knee down to the mat, top of our left foot down to the mat. Come into half monkey, walking our hands back, straightening out our front leg, and then flexing our toes on that right leg up to the sky. And then walk our hands back. Go walk our hands a little further than the top of our foot, opening up our chest, lifting our face up toward the sky, 45-degree angle. Then walk our hands back again, straightening out the leg, flexing the right toes up toward the sky. Walk our hands back, a little bit further than our foot. Lift our head up toward the sky, opening our chest, stretching out our spine and lower back. And one last time, walk the hands back, flexing the foot. Walk the hands forward, a little bit further than your toes, lifting the head up toward the sky. And then come back to a low lunge, and then tuck your toe under, coming into runner's lunge. We'll walk our hands to the left side, to the center of the mat, and then all the way down to our left foot. We'll come into one-legged squat. So our left knee's bent, right leg is straight, and right toes are flexed up to the sky. And then we'll walk our hands back to the center of the mat. Come into a pigeon-toed wide-legged stance. We'll sweep our right hand up and overhead. And bring that right hand back down. Inhale, sweep our left hand up and overhead. And bringing that left hand back down. We'll walk our hands over to our right foot and pivot into a runner's lunge. And then pushing down in our right foot, we're going to lift our left foot up and bring it to the right foot, coming into forward fold. And then sweep our hands all the way up and overhead. Palms come together, palms come to heart center. We'll bring our pinky toes to the edge of the mat, tucking our heels in, come into a wide-legged squat. So hands in onto the mudra, prayer pose at heart center. Lower our hips down toward the mat, bringing our torso between our legs. Elbows are tucked in in the inner part of our knees. The hands can keep moving down toward the mat. If you like a little bit more stretch. And we'll bring our seat to the mat. Coming into staff pose, our toes are flexed up to the sky. If you want to find your sit bones a little easier, then you can make fists, push down into the mat with your fist, lifting up your hips and settling back down, finding your sit bones. So we're going to bring our knees up toward the sky, tucking our hands underneath our knees. We're going to do a few half boat poses. So we're going to lift our legs up, keep our backs nice and straight. Do that by keeping your hands underneath your knees and your chest forward. We'll drop our right foot down and then our left foot down. And then both feet go down, just tapping the mat. So tap your right foot down, left foot goes down, both feet go down, tap the mat. Right foot goes down, left foot goes down, both feet go down. And if you'd like, you could alternate with not holding your legs, so extending your arms alongside your legs. So tap down with the right, tap down with the left, and tap down with both. Really good for the core. Tap down right, tap down left, tap down both, tap down right, tap down left, tap down both, tap down right, tap down left, tap down both. One last time, tap down right, tap down left, tap down both. And you roll back one vertebrae at a time, or express method. I'm going to do the express method. Knees come to heart center. Nice big hug for your knees. I'm going to open our arms out at shoulder height to each side and drop our knees on the exhale to the left, to the right. To the right. And slowly send our gaze over to our left fingertips. And slowly bring your head back to center, and then inhale, lifting your legs back to center. Exhale, lower your legs to the left. And gently turn your head to the right to look at your right fingertips. Slowly turn your head back to center, and inhale, lifting your legs back to center, and bringing your feet down to the bottom of the mat. Prepare for Shavasana. And bring your heels out to the edges of the mat. Just let your feet flop open. Let the weight of your muscles and your bones just sink into the mat. Arms come out to your side at an angle, palms lifting up to the sky. Place a gentle smile upon your lips. And this morning's poem is by Danna Faulds, called Experience This Moment as It Is. Throw off the bonds of your conditioning and fear and celebrate the wonder of being here. Experience this moment as it is, connected by breath and essence to the whole. You couldn't be separate if you tried. Live this day as if the earth exhales blessings in your direction, as if trees speak their deepest secrets in your ear, as if bird songs can lift you outside your ordinary state of mind and bring you into truth. Be the creative juice flowing through the universe. Be compassion in action and wholeness in motion. Be silence and stillness. The ocean of love so palpable that not one cell of you disputes the truth that you are that.